Welcome to CSEGuru. The next topic we will discuss is nested if statement. Nested if is a conditional statement in C. It is nothing but if statement within another if statement. That is, within one if statement, another if statement is placed. So that is nothing but the nested if statement. So the syntax for nested if statement is if expression 1. If this condition is true means it has to execute this part. And if this condition is false means it will go and execute the else part. So if you are checking here, this is first if statement. And if this condition is true means it has to execute this part. And here we have specified another if statement. That is if expression 2. And if this condition is true means it has to execute statement 1. And if this condition is false, that is expression 2 is false means it has to go and execute this else part, that is statement 2. So if you are considering here, within one if statement, this is the outer if statement and this is the inner if statement. So within one if statement, another if statement is specified. So the if statement placed within another if statement is nothing but the nested if statement. So this is the syntax for nested if statement. Flowchart if we are considering, if expression 1 and if this condition is evaluated to true means it will go and execute next if statement placed within this if block. So here if expression 2 and if this condition is true means it will execute statement 1. And if this condition is false means it will execute statement 2. So if the outer if condition is true means control will be transferred to the inner if statement. And this inner if statement also there is a if else. And if this condition is evaluated to true means it will execute statement 1. If this is false means it will execute statement 2. And control will transfer to the next statement in the C code. And suppose if the outer if condition fails means the inner if statement will not execute and control will be transferred to the else part and it will execute statement 3. So if the outer if condition, that is expression 1 is failed means it will execute statement 3 and control will be transferred to the next statement in the C code. So only when the outer if condition is true means inner if statement will execute. If this is false means it will go and execute the else part. So this is the syntax and flowchart for the nested if statement. So now we will discuss an example to implement nested if statement. So the program is to find largest of 3 numbers. Here we have declared 3 integer variables A, B and C. Using the printf statement, display in the output screen, enter 3 input numbers. So we need to accept 3 input values and store it in the memory location of A, B and C. And %d represents the format specifier for the integer data type. Then check if A value is greater than B. So first we are comparing A value and B value. So if this condition is true means A is the greatest number compared to B. So now here B is out of comparison. Then inside the if statement, check the condition if A is greater than C. So with this condition we come to know A is greater than B. And if this condition is also true means with this condition we come to know A is greater than C. So with these two conditions we come to know A is greater than B and C. So obviously print in the output screen A is the largest number. Then if this condition fails means go to else part and print in the output screen C is the largest number. So if you are checking here, this is the if statement. If this condition is true means this part will execute. So this is the true part of this if statement. So if this condition fails means obviously A is not the greater number compared to B. Then our comparison needs to be with B and C. So if this condition fails means control will transfer to this else part, and this else part pairs with the outer if statement. So meaning is here if A is greater than B, condition fails means B is greater than A. This condition is true. That is the meaning. So here with this statement, A is out of comparison now since A is the smallest number. And we come to know B is the greatest number. Now we need to compare B with C. And if this condition is also true means we come to know B is the largest number. Suppose if this condition fails means obviously C is the largest number. So if you are considering here, this is the if-else statement. If A is greater than B, this true path statements will execute. If the condition fails means this false path statement will execute. Simply the true path statement is nothing but we have concluded A is the greater number than B. Then inside this if statement we need to compare A with C. And here we have to conclude either A or C as the largest number. Suppose if this condition fails means we have concluded that B is the greater number than A. Then inside this else part we need to compare B with C. And we have to conclude either B or C as the largest number. So this is an example for nested if statement. That is an if statement placed within another if statement. This is the outer if statement and this is the inner if statement. So this is the C program to find largest of three numbers using nested if-else statement. So in this session, we have discussed the nested if-else statement. In the next session, we will move to else if later. Thank you for watching this video.